KOAT Action 7 News.
Before President Biden ended his re-election bid, some Democrats worried Biden would only lose to Donald Trump, but hurt other Democrats down the ballot.
Corey Howard is live with what this means for other New Mexico races.
While those running in congressional and state races may never work side by side with the president, political experts say that the presidential race affects an entire slate of candidates.
So down ballot races like our U.S. Senate race, our congressional race, and even our legislative races will be affected by the quality of the candidates.
Presidential races are known to set the mood for the entire election, and political experts believe when a presidential candidate performs well, so do other members of the party.
That's one of the reasons the Democrat leaders were trying to talk Joe Biden out of the race, because they thought if Biden does poorly at the top of the ballot, that would impact the Senate races and the congressional races. So some of the reasons people were giving to talk Joe Biden out of the race were sort of self-interest, in the sense that they thought he, at the top of the ballot, was hurting the down ballot races for Congress.
A pivot at the 11th hour that the Democratic Party hopes will pay off.
Around a quarter of all likely voters expressed that they weren't interested in either of them. In opening up the race and bringing in a new candidate, the Democrats are in a position to win over not only voters that were undecided between Trump and Biden, but also voters who explicitly weren't interested in either of them.
In New Mexico, Donald Trump will aim to shrink the gap for Republicans and become the first Republican candidate of his party to win the state in nearly 20 years. Meanwhile, the Democratic nominee hopes to maintain the party's stronghold and continue to put more members of the party into office.
Now, experts also say another thing to watch out for is voters' turnout. Both candidates will try to energize their bases in hopes that it will leave a ripple effect down the ballot. Reporting in Albuquerque, Corey Howard, KOAT, Action 7 News.
An ABC poll in May showed Donald Trump had a 2% edge in undecided voters.